Hello, denizens of the internet. Well, I don't usually do these kinds of commentary videos, but I have been forced to do one because I've read something unbelievably stupid. Now, normally you know me for my comedy tech videos, but this is so insanely dumb that I have to comment on it. So let's get right to it. Okay, this is in CNN Business. Robot racism. Yes, says a study showing humans' bias extends to robots. No, this isn't a parody. Let's continue. Okay. Have you ever noticed the popularity of white robots? Yes, we now have introduced white robots privilege, white robot privilege. This is a very pernicious and terrible situation that we must deal with. You see them in films like Will Smith's I, Robot and Eve from Wall-E. Yes, because that's the first thing I thought of was, wow, that's a white robot. Eve is a white robot, and she's, hanging out with this very dirty Wall-E. I don't know, he was colorful. A colorful robot. Real-life examples include Honda's Asimo, Ubtex Walker, Boston Dynamics Atlas, blah, blah, blah. The reason for these shades of technological white may be racism, according to new research. Yes, let's see what kind of research they've got here. Robots and Racism, a study conducted by the Human Interface Technology Laboratory. Oh, that sounds impressive, doesn't it? Oh, it must be real because it's a lot of words all merged together. In New Zealand, okay, so now we know it's completely stupid. Why don't you just hang out with your sheep? And published by the country's University of Canterbury, which obviously is not a real university. They probably just hand out those fake certificates that you can put into your laser printer and put them on your wall and make it seem like you've got an education or something. I'm sure that's what they do on the side. That's where they make their money. So this research suggests people perceive physically human-like robots to have a race. Really? And therefore apply racial stereotypes to white and black robots. I told you this was stupid. These people are stupid. Intersectionality, I thought it could not get worse. Intersectionality robots, social justice bots. These colors have been found to trigger, well, of course, there you go. There's the word trigger. So now you know. It's a social justice warrior thing. Social cues that determine how humans react to and behave towards other people and also apparently robots. The way we behave with robots. I think it's disgusting the way people treat robots. It's just awful, especially black robots. Anyways, the bias against black robots is a result of bias against, African Americans. Lead researcher Christopher Bartneck, I'm going to rename him Christopher Bart Pencilneck, explained to the New Web, he told CNN, it's amazing, so I'm quoting him now, it is amazing to see how people who had no prior interaction with robots show racial biases towards them. How many of us have had robot interactions? I'll get back to that later. The researchers think this is an issue that needs to be addressed. Well, of course, it's a number one issue. Not poverty, not ending the war in Syria, but dealing with robot racism. If robots are supposed to function as teachers, friends, or carers, for instance, then it will be a serious problem if all of these roles are only ever occupied by robots that are racialized as white, according to the study. Okay, you stupid idiot, okay? Christopher Bart Pencilneck doesn't get one very, very important thing. There's really not a lot of robots out in the wild doing stuff. They're still in an experimental stage. You do have some robots that, I think in Japan especially, they're at old folks' homes. and I think they're humanoid. But for the most part, these are still in experimental stages. We've got a ton of robots that they've pieced together with, baling wire and hoses and, computer chips and things like that. Yeah. And they clad them in white just for publicity purposes, or when they're rolling something out and they want to get all the press out to take a look at them. Sure, I mean they make them look nice and shiny, and white looks like a hospital. I mean it makes it look I don't know, like it's involved in some kind of medical research. So why not make them white? But the point is that the stuff that they're doing research on, like SMO, I mean, these are research robots, but when they go out, when they're going to be sold eventually, they're going to be any color that the person wants. And what if the robots are colored by, with their corporate colors? There could be blue and pink stripe robots. Are you going to have a problem with that, pencil neck? I mean, for God's sakes, I mean, it's just, so utterly stupid. Where is Gad Sad on this? I mean, oh God, when I thought that we couldn't get much more stupid, we seem to have that capability. So let's keep reading. So, my God, the robots used in the study are clearly robots. So they have a study, but have human-like limbs and a head. With exterior complexion that are white, which is to say pinkish or black, really a deep brown. So they clearly are racist towards those tiny rectangular bots that they have in corporations that carry around mail and things like that. Wow. Okay. In the shooter bias. What? The shooter bias test. Because we're always shooting robots. That's the main thing we do with robots, is we shoot them. Black and white people and robots appeared on a screen for less than a second, and participants were told to shoot those holding a weapon. Okay, so now they've got robots packing heat. Black robots that were not holding weapons were shot more than the white ones not carrying guns. Don't understand the relevance to this test. People are making robots. They're what's it got to do with robots and guns? This is not a sci-fi. Oh, I know what's wrong. He's been watching Westworld, the dickhead. He thinks Westworld is real. Should we tell him that it's fake? I don't think so. We should just let him live in this fantasy world of his, Mr. Pencilneck. Run a simple Google image search on the term robot. You won't see a lot of color or as pointed out in the study. The researchers see this overrepresentation of white robots, overrepresentation, as potentially harmful for the perception of other races. Robot designers come from all corners of the world, that's true, Bart Pencilneck pointed out, yet they still idealize white robots. No, they're just pulling shit out of drawers and drums and from the back, in the warehouse and smashing them together. And maybe one of the guys has got a 3D printer and all he's got left is white, the white goop to make a 3D shell on it. I mean, for God's sakes. I don't think any of the researchers, any of the robot people, when the robotics people put these things together and they go, wow, we better make this thing white. No, they just want to make this thing walk and talk and do interesting things. Human-shaped robots should represent the diversity of humans, Bart Pencilneck told the Next Web. Yes, when they're out in the field. Why wouldn't a black kid want a black robot? Why wouldn't a brown person want a brown robot? This is completely irrelevant. This is so stupid. I mean, just think about it. What if they did make black robots? What if, a white scientist, as part of the experiment, told a black robot, hey, you black robot, come bring me that stuff, bring it here. Is he going to then flip out saying, oh my God, this is the return of slavery? See, this is what happens when we make black robots. All you white people are going to start ordering it around. Well, you just said that you wanted black robots, for fuck's sake. Oh my God. Well, what about the Boston Dynamics? I mean, they're hitting robots with chairs, trying to knock them down and poking them with hockey sticks, trying to trip them. What if they made that a black robot? What would this asshole do? Would suddenly, he would be freaking. Look what you're doing. You're hitting a black robot. You're a slave. You're a slave owner. That you shouldn't be doing that. So I don't know. I don't think you can win with this dickhead. I mean, honestly, there's just no way to win. He's part of the intersectional community. He's making this shit up. He's going to get clickbait. Obviously, he got, publicity from CNN, and now he's getting publicity from me. Imagine a world in which all Barbie dolls are white. Imagine a world in which all robots worked in Africa or India are white. Further, imagine that these robots take over roles that involve authority. Clearly, this would raise concerns about imperialism and white supremacy if they're white. So, I mean, they could solve this problem by secretly just make them black, and all the white, the imperialism would be gone. I don't know. Bart Pencilneck told CNN, robots are not just machines, but they represent humans. But they don't have to be representative of humans. They can be any shape that is appropriate for the situation of the job that it's doing. The orange mechanical robots that are putting together your car. Are people saying, the orange is the color of the Dutch soccer team? Well, are people complaining that I'm tired of those Dutch robots building my cars? And you look outside, you only see white and black or gray cars outside. You don't see colored cars out there. There's almost nothing. So does he have a problem with cars? In a second study, the HIT Lab NZ, I guess New Zealand team, added lighter brown robots, finding that as they increased the racial diversity participants, racial bias towards the robots disappeared altogether. Who the has a racial bias against a robot? This leads me to believe that we have everything to win by offering racial options and nothing to lose, Bart Pencilneck told CNN. I think humanity, we've lost it. Gad? Where are you, Gad? Can you help me with this, Gad? Please? I need help. Sort this out. Please explain this to me. Thanks. Denizens of the internet. I don't think I can say anything more.